3. Hello everybody, the Persona 5 P5X 2.0 livestream just finished for the... Of course, the moment I record, there's a train going by. Okay, back to what I was saying now that the train is gone. We are currently going to be going over everything that went on during the 2.0 livestream, because let's be real with you. These Japanese live streams, they can be very long and very drawn out, so we know people want the information who would rather not sit through the live stream. So I've gone to the liberty of going through the live stream and taking screenshots of everything that I thought was important information, and we'll just be going through it here right now. So starting off, this is just the basic page of telling you what happened during the live stream, and the main key points I took was UI and kit. So first we'll be going into Wynn's kit. As you can see, there are some changes if you've noticed. So as you know, Wind is the 4-star Elocutor, or if Elocutor, I can't pronounce that. They're the 4-star guide, all right? They're your guide. They're your Mementos guide, okay? I cannot pronounce that name, but she is going to be the new 4-star that is coming out, that is going to help you with down points. If you don't know what down points are or are confused about that, down points is the number next to the enemies whenever you hit a weakness attack, or whenever you land a red critical, it takes down a down point on enemies, since unlike in Persona 5 where it's just you had to hit one weakness and they go down, in this game, since it's a gacha game, you have to get down points, which multiple enemies can have. And what Wind will do for you is, Wind will make it so that way it's easier to reduce the down points that characters have. And as you can see as well, she is a unit that scales off of speed, so you're going to want a lot of speed on her when she comes out tomorrow. So that's just her base kit going on. I'm just going to quickly scroll through here, show you the details. I'm not going to go into explaining them. I'm just going to leave them up for a few seconds while you guys can read them for yourselves, see what's going on, pause the video if you have to, if I scroll by it too quick. But these are the details for Wind and what her character kit does. Now, based off of what I saw in the live stream, I'm not a China, Korean, or Taiwan player. I did not play on those servers. I've only played on global so far, so I don't know any other information about future characters coming out. But from what I'm seeing, she seems very good for a 4-star character. For a 4-star character, this seems insane, and as they said in the live stream as well, she's going to be huge for the Velvet Trials, because as you know, for some reason on the global, from what I've heard, the stuff that's supposed to be double weakness is only single weakness, but I take it they did that to better showcase Wind. So Wind will make Velvet Trials a whole lot easier so you can get more Stardust Shards. Here you have her awareness levels, which as a 4-star, more than likely you're going to get all of these. So I'll just take a quick second to leave that up to let you guys read it real quick. Pause the video if you have to, because I know it's a lot of text. Now we shall move on to the next part, where as you can see, this was something that they went over during the live stream, and it was the fact that in the Chinese, Korean, and Taiwanese versions of the games, enemies scaled based off a player level, but due to the sped up schedule that the global version is going through, they are instead setting story enemies at fixed levels. And then this was just a quick image of the UI change. It's going to be happening. As you can see, this is probably for any mail that you get, any gifts and such. We have the new task bar here, and this is just a little image of Kinjuku. I didn't really care about the Kichijoji part. We'll be seeing that in-game. My main thing was just looking at the UI. And now we shall move on to the second portion, which is all of Chord's info. So Chord, as you know, is the new 5-star support character that's coming out. She is going to be an Electro, and what they did say is they actually added a skill to her, their skill 1, so that way she can do damage. I'm not sure if that was a thing in the Asian server ones. I don't know, they said they added it, so who knows, but as you know, I'm sure you can see, they've already implemented the buffs where her attack is 122 instead of being 920 or 940. I have an image of the buffs as well that they gave her. But we're just going to once again scroll through, show all of the different attacks that she has. Pause if you have to so you can quickly read what they do. We're just going to be quickly clicking them through. This one's a bit long one, so I'll keep it up for a little longer. Like I said, if you need to pause to read what the kit does, go ahead. We'll catch up. Don't worry, this video is not going to go anywhere. And as you can see, she is a very hard unit to skip because she just does so much buffing and so much highlight damage. It's actually insane. Oops, I accidentally skipped past that. Here you go. Here's another other talent. As you can see, the increased highlight damage is going to be absolutely ridiculous on her. She is definitely a must-pull unit in my opinion. Here is her awareness. We're going to take a quick pause here. Just read it. See if what she has is for you. We go to the next spec, which is her weapon, which is increased attack by 30%. Which, by the way, the fact that her weapon fills highlight gauge by 40% is actually insane to me. That is actually, like, insane. That should be everything. Yep. Alright, now, I did separate this because they took forever talking about it, but this is the buffs that they showed. This is the buff, 976 to 1220 on skill 2. So they did buffs, and as you guys know, when it comes to the global version, when they do buffs, rather than waiting a little bit, because of how far ahead the Asian servers are compared to global, whenever a character gets released, they just release them with the buffs that they have in the Asian servers. So that being said, we go into the new part, which was really good here. I thought was really cool. They introduced the tasks, obviously, which, as most of you know, basically tasks are just what you have in every other gacha game, where your daily and weekly assignments, where you send characters out, they take a certain amount of time, they come back, and you get the rewards. And as they said, when it comes to weeklies, you will get 2 gold ticket pass for standards, and then you'll get Thief Cognate Shards, which obviously at 60, you will be able to transfer for a Cognite, which is a dupe of your character. But what is actually cool about this is, if we go over here, when it comes to the global version, on release of this feature, we will actually be getting Joker, Bowie, and Marion for cognitive switching. So for cognitive exchange, not only can you choose the first five stars, but you can also choose Bowie, Joker, and Marianne. Now, Marianne drama was a little controversial because, you know, they're still on the trend of waiting 6 months to add standard characters to the standard banner, which, in my opinion, I still feel that is stupid. Just add them right after their banner. It doesn't really matter. Like, we still gotta wait, what, 3 months for Marianne to come to the standard banner, and then we're gonna be waiting 5 months for Phoebe to come there. So, it's a little off, but at least we have this now, so we can augment. I am personally going for Joker, but that's just me. As you can see, this was, the list of all of them is for Ryuji, Morgana, On, Yaoling, Nishimori, Joker, Yui, and Minami. So now we shall go over to the next part, which is super levels, which I don't know when these were implemented in the Asian server. They're being implemented here in global, where basically all the S levels do is when you hit level 80, they give you the S level schema points, which will be added to upgrade Wonder's abilities and stats even further past what you have normally maxed out with the regular schema points. And as a side note, for those of players who have reached level 80, any XP that you have past level 80 that you've used so far will just get transferred into S levels that will be giving you S schema points. So you don't have to worry too much about that. They also did say that they are making level 70 and 80 easier to go to, so that is good as well. And then just quickly for the next thing, they're adding the new revelation cards. We're getting Psychokinesis and Blessed added, you know, about time, because, you know, if you don't have Marianne, you kind of only have 2 blessed characters, and the first one, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'll post an image of her in post editing, and then of course you have Wonder, and if you know Thunderous Blessing, you kind of only got, if you don't have the 5 stars, you kind of only have 2 characters that you can use there. So this is pretty good. Same with Psychokinesis, because as you know, certain stages in Arcane Flame are only Psychokinesis weak, and obviously only having 2 support characters really isn't the best for damage. Granted, they still do damage, but it'd be much better to have someone with a Psychokinesis set to get that damage really going, so that way you can actually do stuff. So there are those. They also said that it is adding a set for Elucidator, so I'm assuming that is Labor. And then we're going to have whatever one of these 2 are. We'll look at them and break them down later. And as they said, due to the fact that they cannot do codes due to restrictions on devices, they said, they just give them outright during the stream. And to celebrate the 2.0 launch, they are making it 1,000 metajoules instead of the normal 600 that they do. So it is 1,000 once the game updates, so make sure you collect that. And as the little apology for Marianne, the moment you log in for version 2.0, you will actually get 60 of the cognitive shards. So you can immediately just get a dupe of a character of any of the ones you want, which I think is pretty good. I think that is a good thank you. Now, would I rather it be just a character, and if you have the character, you just get the dupe? Yes, because from what I've heard, it's only a cognite, so if if I can pronounce it, good lord, cognitite. So basically, you cannot get Marianne. You can just get a dupe of her. So it'll just be sitting there until you eventually pull her in like 3 more months. But that was pretty cool. They have the puzzle event coming, which requires stamina and action points. Which I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about requiring both stamina and action points, since it has rewards behind it. But I'm probably gonna do it anyways. So I suggest making sure you do this every day. It's going to be rough because you're going to want to use your action points for daily life as well, but I feel like since it has gems and such behind it, this is more of a necessity. So I would suggest using your stuff on the puzzle event. As you can see with the main story, they're giving out a lot of gems and a lot of pulls. Most of it is from the daily login that they're doing. They're doing a login as well as giving out the weapon for wind, the free 4-star weapon, which is going to be nice. It's going to help you a little bit. As you can see, they are also introducing their website, which will allow for discounted prices on purchases. But also, if you visit the website every month, you will get free meta gems. So I suggest doing that as well, because, you know, every little bit helps. You never know what you may need. Everything else pretty much is the same, except for this right here. This is actually really good. So when it comes to Persona, everyone knows Joker is the face value of Persona 5. So for new players that are coming to the game, for current players, this doesn't really matter, but for brand new players, if you are a brand new player coming to P5X, Joker will be available to you for the first 30 days you play. So you will be able to pull Joker no matter when you start. I think this is an absolute huge change. Now we're going to go into another change here that is anticipated but won't be coming soon. The 110 banner. Everyone wants the 110 banner because we all know how bad soft pity and hard pity is in this game. Basically, the way it goes is if you don't get early, you're basically going to hard pity. We all know that, right? So everyone's been wanting 110 to be implemented since Asia has it. And they said, based off of what they said in the live stream, they are planning on implementing 110 between the October and November region. So that could potentially mean no 110 banner until Futaba. So if you're someone like me who plans on pulling for, you know, Cord and the summer skins, no 110 banner for you. You might get it for the summer skins, but until they announce when they're officially implementing it, it's still more than likely to assume that it's going to be on Futaba's banner. And as you can see, the EX Lufel plan is going to be implemented. They're going to bring out more information on that later on down the line. They didn't release too much. They updated certain events. They made it so that way the Awakening Avenue event is now 5 instead of 4. And for the 5-star weapon promo, they announced it's going to be happening at the end of September. We got to wait for more information on that one. And besides that, here is just a list of all the stuff that they did. All the events that are going to be happening. They're also doing a 5-star weapon case. Special thanks for 100 days. I'm not sure if that's the same as the 5-star weapon campaign. We'll find out. If it is, it is what it is, honestly. Don't really care too much. And then the final thing that they announced was the fact that there's going to be an event in Japan. For most of us, that doesn't really matter because I know I can't go to Japan right now, so this doesn't really matter to me. But that is all the stuff that was announced during the 2.0 live stream. I hope you did enjoy this quick recap. And other than that, I will catch you guys all next time because I will be recording more Persona 5 Phantom X content now that they have addressed and fixed some issues. So I'll catch you guys all later. Peace.